What up, yo? It's Marc with the Fantasy Knockout Fantasy Football Show. Today is Friday, December 2nd. I'm excited for today's show. It's the Week 13 must-start players. Who are we feeling confident about this week? Who are we worried about? You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And let's get this new goal of 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. Quick reminder, drop it like it's hot. Check those waivers just to see who might have been dropped. You never know. Just double check for me, guys. Let's talk some news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. So tight end Darren Waller from the Raiders, his head coach Josh McDaniels said that he is unsure whether or not Waller with his hamstring will play in week 14, not this week, but next week. Both Waller and Renfrow are eligible to come off of the injured reserve after this week, so we'll kind of monitor that and see that going forward. Running back Mike Boone from Denver, he has returned to practice. Will be the first week Boone, with his ankle injury, is eligible to return from the IR, so he should be starting to be worked in with Latavius Murray going forward. And then running back Jalen Warren from Pittsburgh, the doctors have cleared him to return from his hamstring injury, and he expects to play in week 13. And then running back Darrell Henderson from Jacksonville, his head coach Doug Peterson said that Henderson would likely be inactive if Travis Etienne plays this Sunday. So just to know. Running back Michael Carter from the Jets, his head coach Robert Saleh said that Carter with his ankle injury is doubtful for week 13. So we're going to look to Zonovan Bam Knight to do a lot of that early first and down workload, and then Ty Johnson to get a lot of the function as the primary pass catching option there in New York. Main event, my must start players for week 13. And if I don't talk specifically about a player that you're looking for, please check out those rankings at fantasyknockout.com. An update on my accuracy. I had a good week last week. Week 12, we finished 35th overall, so that was solid. Teams on bye this week, just two of them. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. So time for confidence levels, guys. I'm going to run through a list of players with my confidence level and starting them to finish as a top 12 or top 24 option in their position. There's three categories. The goal of this is to cover more players so that everyone kind of has a good idea of what players to start over whom. Quarterbacks. So my confidence level in becoming that top 12 quarterback for this week. Start with confidence category. The 100 to 75%. Jalen Hurts from Philadelphia, Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, Joe Burrow from Cincinnati, Dak Prescott from Dallas, and Justin Herbert from Los Angeles. Now the next group is the consider if needed, the 75 to 50% in confidence. Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville, Lamar Jackson out of Baltimore, Tua Tagovailoa out of Miami, and Geno Smith from Seattle. And now the 50 to 40% confidence, we're going to go with Derek Carr from Las Vegas, Tom Brady from the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay, Jimmy Garoppolo from San Francisco, Jared Goff out of Detroit, and Kirk Cousins from Minnesota. Now, the next group is the bench if possible. This is the 40 to 30% in confidence. Deshaun Watson from Cleveland, Mike White from New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay, Marcus Mariota from Atlanta. Now, the under 30% in confidence is Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, Justin Fields out of Chicago. And I'm probably going to move him up a little bit. This was more with before the news just came out of him being cleared and practicing in full. So we'll probably move up Fields, so check those rankings. Daniel Jones out of the New York Giants, Ryan Tannehill out of Tennessee, and Taylor Heineke from Washington.
Running backs.
All right, the confidence level and become that top 24 running back for this week. The start with confidence group, 100 to 75% in confidence, is Josh Jacobs from the Las Vegas, Nick Chubb from Cleveland, Austin Eckler from Los Angeles, Christian McCaffrey out of San Francisco, Derrick Henry from Tennessee, Dalvin Cook out of Minnesota, Jonathan Taylor's back in here from Indianapolis, Ken Walker III from Seattle, Aaron Jones out of Green Bay, and Saquon Barkley from New York. Now, the consider if needed, this is the 75 to 50% confidence level. Joe Mixon from Cincinnati, Travis Etienne out of Jacksonville, Tony Pollard from Dallas, Jamal Williams out of Detroit, David Montgomery from Chicago, Miles Sanders out of Philadelphia, Rachaad White from Tampa Bay, Dameon Pierce out of Houston, and Alvin Kamara from New Orleans. Now, still in the consider if needed group, the 50 to 40% in confidence, Ezekiel Elliott out of Dallas, Isaiah Pacheco out of Kansas City, Jeff Wilson from Miami, Cordero Patterson out of Atlanta, Gus Edwards from Baltimore, DeAndre Swift out of Detroit, Brian Robinson from Washington, and Antonio Gibson out of Washington. Now the next tier, this is the bench if possible, less confident, the 40 to 30%. So Latavius Murray out of Denver, Kareem Hunt out of Cleveland, Samaje Perine out of Cincinnati, Kyron Williams from Los Angeles, Zonovan Knight out of New York, Tyler Algier out of Atlanta, JaMychal Hasty from Jacksonville, Jalen Warren out of Pittsburgh. And now the under 30% still in this tier, Jerick McKinnon from Kansas City, Cam Akers from Los Angeles, Kenneth Gainwell from Philadelphia, Ty Johnson from New York, Kenyon Drake from Baltimore, Dontrell Hilliard from Tennessee, Amir Abdullah out of Las Vegas, and then Benny Snell from Pittsburgh.
Wide receivers.
Wide receivers. This is the confidence level becoming this top 24 wide receiver for this week. The start with confidence group, 100 to 85%. Devontae Adams from Las Vegas, Justin Jefferson out of Minnesota, Tyreek Hill out of Miami, A.J. Brown out of Philly, CeeDee Lamb from Dallas, Amon-Ra St. Brown out of Detroit, T. Higgins from Cincinnati, Jalen Waddle from Miami, and Jamar Chase out of Cincinnati. Now, still in the same group, this start with confidence. This is a little bit less, 85 to 75%. Amari Cooper out of Cleveland, Chris Godwin from Tampa Bay, Christian Kirk from Jacksonville, Keenan Allen, haven't said his name in a while. He's now up in this group from the Los Angeles, DK Metcalf from Seattle, Garrett Wilson from the Jets, Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay, and Tyler Lockett from Seattle. Now, the next group of this is the consider if needed. This is more 75 to 50% in confidence level in becoming that top receiver for the week. Terry McLaurin out of Washington, Devontae Smith from Philly, Brandon Ayuk out of San Francisco, Deebo Samuel from San Francisco, Christian Watson from Green Bay, Chris Olave out of New Orleans, Juju Smith-Schuster from Kansas City, Michael Pittman from Indianapolis, Josh Palmer out of Los Angeles. And now still in the same group, a little bit less confident, 50 to 40%. Zay Jones out of Jacksonville, Cortland Sutton from Denver, George Pickens out of Pittsburgh, Alan Lazard out of Green Bay, Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh, Treylon Burks out of Tennessee, Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Cleveland, and Adam Thielen from Minnesota. Now the next tier, these are the bench if possible, not too confident. 40 to 30%, so we got Darius Slayton from New York, Tyler Boyd out of Cincinnati, Drake London out of Atlanta, Brandon Cooks from Houston, Michael Gallup from Dallas, Mac Hollins out of Las Vegas, Nico Collins from Houston, and Paris Campbell out of Indianapolis. And now the under 30%, Marquez Valdez-Scantling from Kansas City, Curtis Samuel from Washington, DeAndre Carter out of Los Angeles, Chase Claypool from Chicago, Van Jefferson from Los Angeles, Julio Jones out of Tampa Bay, Jarvis Landry from New Orleans, and Devin Duvernay out of Baltimore.
Tight ends.
Tight ends. All right, guys. Confidence level becoming this top 12 tight end for this week. Start with confidence. The first group, 100 to 75% and starting these with confidence. Travis Kelce out of Kansas City, TJ Hockenson from Minnesota, Mark Andrews out of Baltimore, George Kittle from San Francisco, Dalton Schultz out of Dallas, and Pat Freiermuth from Pittsburgh. Now the next group is the consider if needed group, 70 to 30%. Foster Moreau from Las Vegas, Hayden Hurst out of Cincinnati, Gerald Everett from Los Angeles, Cole Kmet out of Chicago, and Greg Dulcich from Denver. Now the next group is the bench if possible, under 30%. These are more streamable options. Tyler Conklin from New York, Evan Ingram out of Jacksonville, Tyler Higbee from Los Angeles, Taysom Hill from New Orleans, and Robert Tonyan from Green Bay. All right, guys, so leave me that comment. Give me that thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think. I'm here to help you guys win each week. Hashtag dominate your league. So some of my rankings will be adjusted since news comes out after recording this show. And it could change the impact on the player, so just double check those rankings Sunday morning for any changes there. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. The next show is Week 13 Injury Report. Thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Please leave that rating and review. Really helps me out. Good luck this week. All right, till next time, see ya!